Okay.
I have tried severally in the KDF. Every time I tried, it was all unsuccessful. But by the fact that it was unsuccessful, it didn't reflect any negative on me.
Hi, beautiful ladies and handsome gentlemen. Welcome back again to my YouTube channel. And if you're new here, don't forget to hit that notification bell down there for you to be updated anytime Zuleka uploads her new content. And thank you very much for the 500 subscribers. We keep on pushing to 1,000, to more and more and more. I really thank you. I really appreciate everyone for always supporting me by sharing the link with their friends, relatives and enemies. And so guys, today it's been long. We've been seeing me uploading some political stories, some human interest stories, some economic and social stories. But today we're going to have a very exclusive interview with, should I introduce him? But no, let me just leave it at that point. Atatuelezea ni nani. But let me tell you guys, he has a very, very interesting story. Na aim yake ni never give up in life. Kwa sababu, yeah, that's half-baked introduction about him. Atakuwa anatueleza. Yes, our guest is here. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Uko poa?
Niko salama sana.
Unajua tukiona watu kama nyinyi tunaogopaga. Sijui nafaa kutoroka ama tunafaa kufanya nini?
Siku za kutoroka zilivita. Saizi, in fact, saizi ukiniona, nafaa feel more secure, more safe. Na feel like ala ikiwezekana unihug. Kwa sababu there is nothing different kati ya mimi na your brother back at home. I'm just like your brother. Na no need to worry.
Maybe you are like my brother saizi juu umevaa civilian, but no in uniforms. Oh my God.
Nothing. Basically, yote it entails your personality. Mimi kama mimi, I believe there is no difference. Since naelewa what humanity is, since naelewa what the law is, since naelewa what religion is, na balance hiyo vitu yote. And so whether niko in uniform ama niko in civilian, things are all the same.
Najua watu wanashangaa, now we are saying of uniform, maybe ni nurse, maybe ni wale watu wanapika kwa jikoni. Who are you and what do you do?
My name is Arnold Mutave. I'm a police constable, a very fresh one, but I really appreciate kwa sababu this is this is exactly what I wanted in life. It has taken me so long, but eventually I came to find what I had admired for a very long time. And I'm so much overwhelmed by the kind of profession I'm in.
Welcome to Zuleka channel, and we're very humble to host you today. Najua wengi wanajiuliza, Zuleka, mbona karau leo? Mbona umeleta afisa hapa hivi? Guys, he has a very, very interesting story. Arnold anatoka wapi? I'm very sure most of the people here would like to know Arnold anatoka wapi. And now, before wenze kutuelezea now, you've been admiring this thing for so long. So ukizungumzia so long, it has been so long.
Of course, it has been long because it has taken me like around 10 years. More than 10 years actually. Because I started my first try. I gave the first try in the year 2012. I think it was in August. I was so fresh from school. So even at the time I was in school, I'd always aspired to be an officer. I really used to like how these guys behave. And above all, I really wished to be at the front line in matters protecting the nation, at least maintaining law and order. So immediately I finished Form 4, I began this journey. And for sure, I was so optimistic. At no time did I ever give up. I used to go like 3-4 times a year. Anytime I could hear of any recruitment whatsoever, I would make sure I go and make an attempt.
Be it KWS, Ranger,
all of them.
As long as it's a man in uniform.
Man in uniform.
Okay.
I have tried severally in the KDF. Every time I tried, it was all unsuccessful. But by the fact that it was unsuccessful, it didn't reflect any negative on me. I kept on pushing because I knew eventually if it was in me, then I would just get it.
If it was meant to be, it will be.
It will be. So I gave it a try. The very first one was Kenya Police. I remember very well. We were about 1,200 contestants. I had a very big crowd at Bohongo Stadium. And I was astonished because there was that fear, anxiety, and anytime you make such a try, you're always sure that it's you. You never think about the rest. So it kept me, it made me keep pushing for all that time. If I can go back, that very, very fast recruitment. Among the 1,200, there was some sampling. You may call it sampling, if you wish, until they arrived at 800. Now the 800 are the ones who now qualified to go through certain other scrutiny, because they check on different aspects, be it academics, stories to do with height, stories to do with maybe your medical fitness. So we had a very huge number then that was allowed into the field, because the 1,200 I'm telling you is that number before the whole crowd that was present. Now there are some things that automatically take off people. Number one, they talk of your academic qualifications. You'll see people walk out before they get now into the physic and medical. So we were 1,200, then from there 800 to tulienda kwa uwanja. Then of the 800, I think around 250 were able to go now to the very last stage of the marathon part of it, of which I really used to fear, because I was then bigger. I was then very big, and I had not done enough exercise because it was so prompt. So of the 250, I managed to be number 85. And that one automatically disqualified me.
Unakubali roho safi?
Of course, huwezi kukata, living denial ni mbaya sana.
Yeah, sure.
Hiyo sikulaumu mtu because I didn't make it. Yeah, so nilitoka from hapo hivyo tukaambia, well, these are the ones that have been taken. The rest, there is next time.
So you're number 85 na ulikuwa unachukua watu wangapi from number 1 to?
Number 1 to 20.
Like definitely uko mbali, hata kiamua ni kuanzia mwisho huwezi pata.
But of course, that was the first one. But after going several times, I realized that it's not all about the top 10. Because among the top 10 or the top 20 or that number, that the bracket they have specified, there are some other complications that may occur. In there, you'll find somebody who is not medically fit. They'll have to make a replacement from the other lot that was removed before. So I was so encouraged, but vile ilifika dakika ya mwisho, I said, well, ni hivyo nimekubali.
Imeniramba. Okay.
Yeah. So from there, I kept on trying. 2013, 2014. Anytime I was so much passionate and close to the papers, dailies, any kind of media that would and I would be monitoring them day by day. So anytime I would hear of it, I would present myself. We had a very good number of guys within that locality. Tulikuwa tunafanya mazoezi. We would wake up at around 3. We run for like 10 kilometers. That night we do some physique, some cooling down and all that. But as time moved by, these other guys, these other friends of mine, decided to now start changing careers. We have those who went to TTCs. We also have those ones who went to KMTC. We also have those ones who decided to do business. But for me, I was doing all this. I've been in business for some time, yes, but my mind was still wherever I am.
I want to wear a uniform.
Of course, ilikuwa ndani yangu sana. I have been discouraged. People talked. People said whatever they could. People talked. But at the long run, I had it at hand. And it was really shocking. It was so emotional, me having that letter. I can recall very well. I was literally trembling because it was totally unexpected. Even to myself, I knew this is the normal joke that I'm used to. Even leaving the house in the morning the same year, that previous year, no, it was last year actually, yes, last year. I told nobody. There's that thing you can go and you're sure you are going to grab. So everyone is like, we are praying for you and all that. The only person I told was my mom, and I left in a very casual way. I knew all was going to be the same.
The same.
Yes.
Like I won't get this thing.
I won't get this thing because I was then very sick. I was extremely sick. So when I went to the field, we were given instructions, and of course I know I'm used to. So I'm very much aware of what is needed and maybe what is not needed. But truth be told, that day favor spoke upon me because everything was done in my favor. I can say I had no hope, but at the same time there was that feeling kwamba let me just go make a try. I have a friend who told me, brother, don't give up. I know, number one, your age is slightly above the mark, slightly above the mark. And number two, I'd started launching another complaint of good conduct. Then I didn't have that good conduct. I didn't have money to renew my good conduct. It was expired. But that friend told me, Arnold, go give it a try. I really thank that friend because it's her who gave me the psych. Because the previous night I called her and told her, no, I don't see myself making, because for all these recruitments I've gone, there is no single one that maybe we ever went through without this good conduct thing being mentioned. And it's one of the qualifications or one of the requirements that would take out some people. So I was unset, but I thank God when I left home on arrival kwa kiwanja, things were as usual.
Yani ushazoea wewe ni kama raia hapo.
Yeah, a veteran. And you know, that was, I think, my 17th time. That was my 17th.
17th.
Yeah, that was my 17th. So I went. The recruiting officer gave us the requirements, the do's and the don'ts, and I had some of the don'ts that he had talked about, but I don't know, should I call it courage, bravery, or some kind of rudeness? I don't know, because I just decided to overlook whatever he had said. I said, well, he has said you should be exactly 28 and below, but then I was 28 and 3 months. But I told myself, well, today I'll break the law. I went and the whole thing went as it was. Now, the second thing, I want to be very honest. I didn't make it to run. I completed the race, but I was the last one.
Acha afadhali ile ingine ulikuwa 85, ina kuramba.
I was very sick. I almost gave up. But there was something in me that was telling me, keep going. I just gone for like half the race. Then I felt like I can't make it anymore. So I started walking. At some point I would just walk. Then after regaining some stamina, I would give it some small run. But I made it. Eventually I came back to the field. There was that cooling down exercise that was taking place. It was already done. So I found them when they were now coming back to the next step. At that step now, we were together. We went again. There was that physical scrutiny. They were checking the fitness and all that. So I was feeling some kind of anxiety in me, because I was seeing things tend to be like they were like as cooking. Usual. Yeah.
And this time now you are last.
I'm last. I'm the last
like
one.
Like hakuna option hapa.
Hakuna option. So I managed to walk with the crowd, because of course it's something in me. I want it, and I can't give up on the way. So the process went. Now at around 6 in the evening, now the recruiting officer was there with the letters. This was now the trembling hour.
Butterflies.
I even didn't know what to say. I turned into a stammerer. I didn't want anybody around me. Whatever I was just waiting is for the usual phrase, go, try next time.
And nobody at home knew that you're going for the recruitment again?
It's only my mother, because she's the one I told. She's the one I told, mama naenda kujaribu. So when that time came, now the judgment hour, my stomach boiled, literally. So I was like,
Mambo ilichemka.
What am I going to do? Because if I fail this one, there's no other one that I can give a try because of the age factor. Surprisingly enough, the topmost letter read my name. When I picked the letter, we had been instructed, after getting the letter, if you're lucky to get, you take the letter, then assemble there. But funny enough, because of the excitement and the confusion that was in me, after being given that letter, I was leaving. Now I was even leaving the recruiting officer because I seemed to be mad. It looked like it was a dream. For me, it was like a dream. But now, that's when there were shouts. Where? I was forced to come back. Totally confused. Trembling with that letter, and it was not the only one, because there are three. We are supposed to have the D number, the joining instructions, and this third one. So I was only given one, and the calling letter. Yeah, and the calling letter. So I left them. In fact, whatever I was carrying was only my name, because that one cannot guarantee you entry into the training school. So during that time, I even can't explain what happened afterwards. Because I was in my own world. I saw people celebrating along the fence, and I was like, is it really me? I trembled until that time when we were released, because I was even worried, because I thought this thing could be revoked in the process. I didn't want to stay there. I just wanted, these people should release me. I go.
They'll pick my letter again. They may drop my name.
Yeah. So I was fighting. There was a fight in me, and that was what was making me shake. But eventually, it was what it was. That was on, I think it was on 24th or something. Yeah, 23rd March. Then on 1st April, which was a Fool's Day. To me, I don't recognize that Fool's Day. It's a day to celebrate in my life, because that's the day I first stepped in Nyeri County, and again, I first stepped in that police training college. The welcome was of course, so warmly.
And you didn't have anyone kwa ground kule to celebrate, like Arnold amepata?
The celebration that was there was just from friends. It has been an effort that has been seen.
So some of your friends were there?
Some of my friends were there, neighbors, and some of whom we were with in the field, but they were
veterans like you.
But no, they were veterans, and again they had been dropped. Yeah, so they didn't make it. So they were happy for me. Some of them, of course, not everybody.
Yeah, sure.
But some of them were happy for me. It was so emotional. For sure, I felt that feeling. It was
You've never felt like that before?
I've never felt. Life in my training life was so good, because I knew exactly what I had, that anticipation of what I wanted. So most of the time, I used to sit with people who are related to what I want. So they had shown me what exactly is there. They had built that mind. So I was so set. I had no difficulty in training. It was like any other training.
Because you wanted that thing, so to you it was very easy.
It was pleasure. I did it as a hobby. It was like my thing. Yeah, it was just like my thing. I had no regrets. I had no complaints. All was well.
Now you being a veteran pale kwa ground, wale officers wenye walikuwa miko na some previous years walikurecognize bado ama walikuwa shakusahau?
There is a very interesting fact. There is a very interesting fact about that, because whoever was there in the year, I believe it was 2014, if I'm not wrong, is the one who recruited me. I was able to identify him, but he wasn't able to identify me, I believe, because
maybe he has met so many
people.
Yeah.
But for me, when I just looked at him, I recalled, I've been going for these things for sure, for heaven's sake.
17 times kama ni mimi yaki Mungu moja ningeenda ya pili niseme hii kitu si yangu.
There are so many. Kuna wale wengi sana. Wale nakwambia walienda teaching, wengine wakawacha tu wakachoka. Wako wengi sana. So waliondokea. Na kwa ile kikundi ambayo tulianza nayo 2012, I am the only one. I can call myself one man. I was the only one man mwenye nilikuwa that time. All of them had dropped. They gave up on the way. But for me, I tried. And what I can say ni kwamba wakati umetaka kitu, ondoa vikwazo. Most of the time we take our precious time concentrating on the negative. Because even from where I stand, people don't recognize the positive things the police do. People concentrate on the negative things.
True. Sasa kuna askari utasema huyo anataka hongo.
Sijui anataka anakubandikia sijui whatever. And from my own analysis, I'm still very new to this profession. But in police work, there's nobody new.
Yeah.
Once you are there, you're trained. You're fit. You're very fit. You're just as intelligent as that other officer. But now, of course, we have to respect those ones who are there before us. There is a lot they have to teach us. But there are some aspects in police work, the general police work. Once you're done with the training, you're well off. So what I can say is, polisi ni watu wazuri. Polisi ni watu wengine wangwana sana. Na kama hao si wangwana, mimi labda ni mungwana.
You're amongst the few wangwana.
I tell you the truth. If there is a profession that can take you to heaven, it's this police work. Sababu, people, anytime there is some kind of danger or something, people tend to run away from the danger. But you are there running towards the danger. Assuming somebody came to your house you know very well, and locked himself up in your house. You know all the rooms, and where maybe if you have any kind of any sort of weapons or something, you know where they are. But you leave the house and run away, then you call the police. Now those are some of the things we have to look at.
Now speaking of that, nitapiga stories kumoja. My mama alipatikana kwa scandal fulani. Yeye ndo alikuwa anasaidiwa na maaskari. So mama anafaa akubali maaskari wamekuja, but my mom alipotea. But maaskari ilikuwa okay, ni kama una ile scandal za kuibiwa pesa, wale maconman. So mama yangu alikuwa amefikiwa siku yake anaenda kuibiwa. Na kumbe masaidiwa walikuwa wanamfuata. Walikuwa na track the whole process ya venye ilikuwa inaenda. So amefikia mama yangu, so ndio wamshike na huyo mwizi, na with that wata save my mom. My mom escaped. Anakimbia sana maaskari anamwambia no, wewe ndo tunasaidia. My mom was running away. Naenda anasaidiwa arudishwe pesa.
For sure. Some of the time tunakuwa mistaken. Unaweza enda mahali na goodwill. Unaenda na utulivu. But along the way, mostly our criminals, ukipata mtu ana tend kuongea negative about police all the time, ni criminal. Ama akona some criminal knowledge yenye yako, like some crime aspect iko ndani yake. Ile either ataka kuavoid askari kwa sababu atamgundua or ashawahi kukosea yule askari, and we are humans.
Yeah, sure.
We are just human. So wakati unani pinch, pia I feel the pain. And at the same time, let me also make this clear to the public. Askari ni binadamu. Na usiwahi fikiria wakati askari anakukimbiza, for example, ana feel mzuri. You can assume this nation without these men in uniform. It would be a very interesting nation where you are pickpocketed here.
No one cares. Hakuna mtu atakushughulika. Exactly.
And it feels so bad when you talk ill about the police. Then the following morning, somebody steals your poultry, somebody steals your cow, your brother is beaten. You're on the same report, in the same report office that you are condemning the other day. You want to be assisted. It's a calling that really requires one to be well off. Ujitume, na at the same time pia uelewe the reason as to why you are there. Otherwise, it's very difficult. Sababu you can imagine somebody who was throwing stones at you yesterday. Now today, ako pala ndako msaidie. On humanitarian grounds, as a human being, inakuwa ngumu, because if you happen kuweka huyo mtu kwa roho yako, you feel like utamsaidia. Yes.
Now speaking of that, kuna some areas mahali hakuna police station juu maraia wamechoma, hawataki maskari around. Some places in where I come from, they don't have police stations. Walichoma zote. Now speaking of that, unasema makaroni watu wazuri. Recently, Arnold was walking with crutches. What happened? Watu walisema askari ni mbaya wakakukujia ama vipi?
No. Hiyo ni normal. Hiyo ilikuwa tu normal accident.
It was a normal accident.
It's just a normal accident.
Unajua naongea na machungu venye we should see makarao kama watu normal.
Of course we are friendly. Hata mimi mwenyewe I tend to stay away from that raia askari thing. We are just one. The same way we interact with police officers, or rather doctors, the same way we interact with teachers. It's the same way you have to interact with us. Make sure if you are pressed anywhere, do it in the correct way. Usifanye vitu na machungu, na usifanye vitu na as if you want to punish somebody. Because you see some of the rayas, you treat police officers as if they are say demons.
Yeah.
You find maybe if at any time a police car, for example, causes an accident, it will be media all over. You will be there, Zuleka will be there making coverage over the same. It's just a normal accident.
Yeah.
Nobody, as a police officer, I cannot just drive off the station to go and hit people.
Yeah.
It is just an accident. So what the general public has to understand is that sometimes these things happen, and when they happen, for sure, we also feel remorseful. Only that nobody wants to listen to us. More so the rayas. When such a thing happens and there is that crowd there, the mob is there, you can't explain yourself. Like, I was coming from this direction, then this happened. Nobody wants to give you an ear.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, it should be looked into so that these rayas should treat us as a brother. You assume today, Zuleka.
Yeah.
I don't mind. But I'm sure you had, or at some point you ever had that mentality kwamba askari ni wabaya.
Askari ni wabaya. Huyu akikuona anakushutu mguu mara moja, story yako inaisha.
Yes. Now, look at me. If you are here and the way tunapendana, we've been together for some time. Yeah. Then kule niliko, usikie watu walinivamia wakanipiga, how would you feel?
Very bad.
Because
I know you exactly.
So
and I know you're just normal like any other human.
That is it. Now, that is where people fail. You have a brother who is a police officer, or a brother who is a KDF, or a brother who is elsewhere in the same profession, uniform profession, but now elsewhere. And you feel they are safer than whoever is close to you. It's very wrong. So the general public should understand. Yani watuelewe tu. Sometimes ni nature ya kazi, and from time immemorial, imekuwa tu polisi wanaogopwa. Kama ni kitu yenye sipendi ni kabisa ni kuogopa polisi. Let us be friends. Let us share whatever we have. We also have families. We also come from families. And our profession is just like any other. Vile daktari anatoka asubuhi akienda kazi, ni vile sisi tunatoka tukienda kazi. Vile mfanyabiashara anatoka anaenda kazi yake, ni vile pia sisi tunatoka tunaenda kazi. Tofauti tu ni kwamba sisi tunafanyanga kazi almost opposite. Yeah. Mahali kumeharibika ndo sisi tunaonekana. Yes.
Now just for 1 minute your parting shots, and I'm very sure you can encourage those people also there listening to you wenye unataka kitu but now hujaipata, you just give up in life, unasema wacha iko venye itakuwa.
Whatever made me be where I am. There is a verse in the Bible, Matthew 7:7.
But there, Arnold is a man of God.
Amen.
He forgot to tell you that.
Yeah. I walked with Matthew 7:7 throughout this journey. At some point, I remember my sister telling me, brother, if it's not yours, then drop it. Then I was so bitter at my sister. She's my elder sister. I told her, sister, I'm sure you don't know what you're saying, because the Bible states very well that God himself promised that his son will not ask for bread and be given a stone. Neither will he ask for fish and be given a snake.
Amen.
So that is exactly what used to encourage me. In as much as I would reach a point of giving up or thinking that God maybe had a different intention, a different profession spared for me, I'll just get back and say no, because He's not a confused God. Matthew 7:7. It's a verse that has always rung in my mind. As I used to pursue this career, it was hard getting, but that verse used to encourage me. It says, God Himself speaks in that verse and says, my son will not ask for a loaf and I give him a stone. Neither will he ask for fish and I give him a snake. So at some point, that verse would just tell me that I should be an officer. Anytime I would think of maybe changing the profession, I felt like, no, this is confusing God Himself, and it will make my God look confused, because that was in me. That was so much in me. I remember sometime my sister, during some counseling session, because sometimes it would turn to be stressful. Yeah, I was quite depressed because if I can just take you back briefly, there's a time I went for the police recruitment. That was in the year 2017. I thought all had gone well. We stayed in the field for very long. I left the field at around 7 in the evening. I was rained on. I was discouraged because I knew very well I had been taken. But towards the end, things changed. So it is at that point that I was to give up. But now this verse was just ringing there. Now my sister took her initiative to talk to a brother. Now during the conversation, she happened to tell me that, Brother Arnold, if this police thing was not meant for you, then you'll just have to drop it, because God Himself has got some other plans for you. I disagreed with her. Trust me, I disagreed with her, and she knows very well. She can remember that day. I was so bitter at her.
Nisema sitafika hapa ni wapi?
I was so bitter at her. I told her, sister, you cannot say that. You are a believer just like I am. You cannot tell me God can take all this time, because there are places I could go even before I joined the forces, and people would just recognize me like Afande. They would call me that, and I had accepted that name. I used to feel so proud. So it is through that I got that encouragement from these are religious leaders. I have got so many friends who are Christians. They would counsel me and make me keep pushing. So if you're out there and you have an ambition of getting something, keep pushing. It took me 10 years. If I can get back to the Bible, Jacob, for Jacob to get a wife, just a wife, not a job.
A wife.
Just a wife. Mm-hmm. He had to be persistent and do extraordinary. He was to do some extra for him to get that wife, the preferred wife. So for me, I also felt like, in case I want to get this, then there should be some extraordinary effort that would make me get it. So if you're there, you feel like you want maybe a certain, not necessarily this uniform profession, any other, keep pushing. And for sure, God will never fail to uplift you once He sees your efforts. Your efforts are very necessary. If you give up on the way or concentrate on the negative, because maybe along his safari, people have been discouraging. I'm very sorry, and may their souls rest in peace. I have friends who lost their lives in the line of duty, but that never discouraged me, because I didn't look at death. I looked at prosperity. And another aspect that ile natamani sana in life ni kufanya somebody, at least I make somebody feel amesaidika. na amesaidika na nani? Na askari. So that in the memories some years to come utakuwa nasema there was an officer alinisaidia.
Ukisaidia moja umesaidia jamii.
I really ni tamaa yangu sana. Ni tamaa yangu sana. Ipo siku. Yes.
Now thank you very much my viewer for watching us till to the end. Ni story ya Arnold, and I'm very sure imekujenga wewe. Never give up in life. If you want to achieve something in life, keep on pushing. Hata mimi nitapush by the way. Let's keep on pushing to 1,000 and more subscribers. My name is Zileka. Thank you for watching us. Till we meet next time on the next video. Bye bye.